Hello, I'm Amara Jones. Today is Tuesday, January 20th. This is Caffeine TV, your daily news brief, here to take you through 3 headline numbers in just 3 minutes, giving you a different take on everything from housing policy to the Real Housewives. The first number of today is 7. Tonight will mark the 7th time that President Obama has delivered the State of the Union address to both the Congress and the country. And in many ways, it might be his most important and consequential since its very first back in 2009. It'll begin to set the tone for the beginning of the end of his administration and also begin to craft in many ways how it will be remembered. Now, aside from what Mrs. Obama will be wearing tonight, one of the most important things to keep your eye on are, of course, the president's policies. From all indications from the White House, he's planning on veering back to the spirit of the progressive economic agenda that got him elected in the first place. Now, not only will he talk about the community college for all and the broadband access for the poor initiatives that we spoke about last week, but according to the New York Times, he's planning on raising taxes on the rich by increasing the taxes that they pay on money earned from their investments, called capital gains taxes, and then turning around and then using that to give everybody else a tax break. Now, in order to increase the capital gains tax, he'll have to take on Wall Street. Low capital gains taxes are one of the main ways that money from the rich flows into Wall Street, so they're going to complain. But after nearly a decade and a half of them getting almost everything that they want, this is change that people might be able to believe in. The next number up today is $200 million, as in $200 million. Now, that's how much ISIS has demanded of the Japanese government in a new video released today. Otherwise, they'll behead 2 Japanese citizens who are in their custody, Kenji Jogo, who is a journalist, and Haruna Yukawa, who is a military contractor. Now, $200 million for 2 heads may sound like a headline written by The Onion, but it's no laughing matter because it shows that ISIS remains undeterred. Now, the $200 million number didn't come out of nowhere. Prime Minister Abe of Japan announced that they were going to give $200 million to nations in the region who agreed to fight ISIS. And ISIS said, well, you're doling out $200 million, then give it to us. Now, what's interesting is that we've been told recently by the Pentagon and others that ISIS is on the back foot, that the bombing campaign that we've had since the summer is beginning to take a toll, and that the Iraqi government is going to launch an offensive recently here that's going to turn the tide. But it sounds like whatever message we're trying to send to ISIS, they're not getting. The last number up today is 4.5, as in 4.5 million viewers. Now, according to Entertainment Weekly yesterday, that's how many people tuned into the Whitney Houston biopic Whitney on Lifetime on Saturday night, making it the highest rated film on that network in a year. Now, many people had assumed after the disastrous Aaliyah movie that Whitney would be a similar train wreck. Now, it was a bit of a mess, but not in the way that anyone predicted. I mean, Angela Bassett did a great job as director, and Yaya DaCosta and Arlen Escopedo were great as both Whitney and Bobby, but it was their relationship that was a mess, that of Whitney and Bobby, and that was the focus of the biopic. I mean, it was a drug-infused, wheels-on-fire type of relationship that sometimes turned into a love triangle with her manager, Robin. Now, that picture of Whitney may be hard for many people to square with the person that we all love and we all fell in love with when she was on stage. But in many ways, that was Whitney, those two things together. She was like a supernova. She burned brightly and hotly, bigger than anything else in the sky, before fading tragically and quickly. And even though that was hard to watch, I'm glad I saw it.